Ondertussen wordt er verkend voor de volgende rubriek en dat is de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final, de Challenge Cup. Twintig voor 2 starten dus met deze rubriek hier op de Ekihome Arena, de junioren rubriek FE Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final, de Challenge Cup voor junior riders. At 20-2, dus 20 voor 2. Dus een moins 20. 6 teams will compete in this competition. Great Britain, Norway, Poland, Denmark, Italy, Switzerland. In this Challenge Cup Youth Competition. Don't forget the speed in this competition is 375 meters per minute. Length of the course is 430 meters. Time allowed is 69 seconds. De snelheid dus heel belangrijk, 375 meter per minuut. De lengte van het parcours 430 meter, toegestane tijd 69 seconden. Soyez attentifs parce que la vitesse, très importante, 375 mètres par minute, 375 mètres par minute. Longueur du parcours, 430 mètres, temps accordé 69 secondes. So the speed, 375 meters per minute. Length, 430 meters. Time allowed, 69. Zo maken we ons op over de Ekioma Arena tijdens deze vierdaagse jeugdfestival voor de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final Challenge Cup for Junior Riders.
Welcome along to FEI TV, everybody. Delighted to have you with us on this Super Saturday here at the FEI Jumping Youth Nations Cup Finals. It is the Challenge Cup that will be on offer here this afternoon for those not quite able to get into the big finals tomorrow, but a tremendous lineup of horses and riders across 3 youth categories for us to enjoy. And it all begins here with the juniors. 6 teams battling it out for that Challenge Cup. Great Britain, Norway, Poland, Denmark, Italy and Switzerland coming forward with their teams. Good luck to everybody. Looking forward to how this one unfolds. The British team going to start things off. They're lined up in reverse order of merit to how they finished in the competition at the end of yesterday on their combined faults. 4 riders in the majority of teams, just Denmark with a team of 3, so they'll come into the line in that second rotation. As ever, best 3 of 4 scores count, although with the Danish, of course, all their scores will count. It is set to be 1 round, but if there is a tie for first place on faults at the end of this round, there will be a jump-off, including all the riders in those teams that are tied for first. The lower positions will be decided by a combination of time and faults from this round. Well, here we go. Fergal is going to start things off for Claire Whitaker's British team. Fergal Houlihan starting the line off and getting things underway. Jumped on the team over the last couple of days with this ride. Unfortunately, just having that one down early on. So the horse that he's riding is Karima. You can see this course just unfolding. They come off that corner, just getting caught out because we're in the other arena today, the Oklahoma Arena. Seven strides down and over the last as well, 66.63. Is the final time, so in on the clock, but it is a 8 penalty round for the first of the British team. Ruby Bars, Jessica Rudd and Olivia Spanner still to come for Great Britain. We'll move on to the Norwegian team next up, and Ingrid Sarili Brokland and Ari Z, the first of their team of 4 for Tom Vidalin Grindelands, the chef de keep. Quite a long run from the first round to the second, and unfortunately coming away there, just picking up a fence down as well. Nicely done. Off that curved 8, strides onto the 4 in the line. Round they come now. It's doubled again, coming away from home. It's combination, 2 strides out. And then left-handed towards these final 3 fences. Been quite a steady round. Unfortunately, that's fallen. So 2 fences down, different fences again, but it is still the same result. 8 being the score for Ingrid Sarili Brokland and Ari Z in this Challenge Cup final for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth for the juniors. Come today as well, the young riders and children's categories. Poland go next, and the first of the team is Daria Petzak riding Unica K. Now this combination jumping a clear round on both occasions over the last couple of days, so we're certainly hoping to start off strongly once again. 4 already. Struggled a little bit to rebalance off the corner coming into the combination. Well, at the moment it's on as even because they've all gone round for 8, 3 in a row, 3 for 8. It's a shame for Daria after the clears over the last couple of days, but the Polish team then joining Norway and Great Britain on an 8 penalty score with their first rider. Next up will be Denmark when we get into the next rotation, but obviously with them only having a team of 3, we move on to the Italian team of Marco Bergomis. This is going to be Eleonora Sanna, riding in Canto VDL.
Eleonora Sanna per Italia. Team captain of Italy is Marco Bergomi. In Canto VDL.
Eleonora jumping a clear round to start things off for the Italians yesterday after her 4 penalties on day 1.
Qualifier, she had 4 and 4, and the second qualifier was 2 times clear for Eleonora Sanna, Italy.
Backed off a little bit coming into the double. Certainly going well at the moment. Hopefully I haven't spoken too soon. Nicely done through the combination. Now, is this going to be the first of the clear rounds? Again, she's quite steady for the time. You'd be starting to worry about the time penalties there. And in fact, just over 70.09, just over that 69-second time allowed. So unfortunately, picking up 2 time penalties. But it is better than the rest. Eleonora Sanna certainly giving the Italians a little bit of an advantage early on by just picking up the 2. So now to the Swiss, to their first rider, Lupoch, riding here with Hendrix HK. And jumped for 4 yesterday and jumped for a clear on day 1. Ooh, now the back rail went there, just came down a bit short. A little bit over to the right hand side, but keeping things nice and level on the 4 now round to this combination. So important to get the in right. Real confidence on the 6 strides to follow. Going right out into the corner. Keeping it to the 4 penalties though currently. Now just 1 fence left to go. Again, the time's going to run them quite tight. 69 is going to get awfully tight just inside on the clock to finish it on the 4. So for Lou and Hendrix HK and Team Switzerland there, they start with a 4 penalty round. So no clear rounds, that 2 from the Italian combination of Eleonora Sanna and Incanto, the best of the rounds out of the opening rotation. So that means we move back to the British. Of course, started one of those 3 teams that picked up 8 of their own riders, or opening riders, but they do at the moment count as discard scores because we're always looking at the best potential outcome. So therefore, next up will be the combination of Ruby Bars riding Manzana Darigo. Hasn't had the easiest couple of rounds over the last 2 days, but it is a combination that have got plenty of talent. They jumped a good round in the Ranking Grand Prix in Bonheiden in August. Getting into the jump off there. Just got pulled a little quick off the corner. So that 4 counts. Just the 4 if they're on the clock, and it is just the 4 then for the second of the British teams there, Ruby Bars, who was part of the podium for the team earlier this year in the Czech Republic in Zidovic, where she actually went on a jump clear in the Grand Prix as well. So Ruby, Manzana Darigo, British team on a best potential outcome now of 4. So we turn to Norway as the next to go. And their second rider is Rasmus Asseland, riding here with Cardigan. Jump for 8 penalties yesterday and 4 on day 1. Rode in the Junior Europeans this year. He was a former team bronze medalist at Pony Europeans a couple of years ago. And 4 penalties already, counting as well towards Norway's score. In fact, now it'll be 8. Again, they're going to get very tight with the clock. 69 seconds could well run out on them here. It is going to run out on them. They've gone over on the clock as well as picking up 12 for jumping. It is 2 for time, so 14 becomes the discard score there for the Norwegian team. And they'll have to count the 8 that they already were holding. So differentiation between teams starting to occur. Now to Poland, of course, also picking up an 8 penalty score with their first rider today, Daria. Now it is Julia Ganowska. Julia riding with Jorian Blue Jorian Blue F even. Jumped at the Europeans in the Netherlands this year. It's her second Junior European Championship, also having competed in the children back in 2022. She's been a regular member of teams over the past 3 years. Jumped for 4 yesterday, but also jumped well on day 1. She just picked up a solitary time penalty, having left the fences up. doing what she needs to do at the moment. Still waiting for an official clear round, actually. We've got that 2 penalty score. Again, she'll get quite close to the time. I think she'll probably just get in, but it'll be very, very tight. In fact, she's not quite going to get in, is she? She's going to go over by, well, 2 time penalties. But leaving the fences standing, it is only 2 that has to count towards the score at the moment. Of course, the same as we saw from the first of the Italian riders, Eleanor Sanna. So good, strong round to just keep things nice and stable for Poland. Denmark now, we bring them into the line with Nicolina Bo Rasmussen riding Cabrio as the first of the Danish team. Jumped clear yesterday for Denmark, also jumping clear on day 1, so can they start things off with the same sort of quality as we've seen over the past few days? Another European competitor at the Junior Europeans in Pilbergen this summer. Of course, the disadvantage of only having 3 in a team is right from the start your scores count. Kept riding well since the fence went down. Keeping things nice and relaxed again, going right out into the corner. And that back rail goes to push them onto an 8. Again, they're going to get very tight to the clock. How tight we will see. It's going to be a couple of time penalties, seems to be the rule. So it is a total of 10, and unfortunately that is a 10 that counts towards Denmark's scores. So 4 teams gone in this second rotation of riders, 2 still to go. And it'll be for the Italian team next up. Well, it should be. Hopefully, oh, there they are. Right, Ferrante, Anici, and Ludwig go next. Rotated out of the team yesterday, having jumped in the anchor position on day 1. These 2 who rode on the Nations Cup team in Zurich. They also jumped exceptionally well to finish in 3rd in the Grand Prix, the Junior Grand Prix, back in May of this year in Bistorizio. So holding a 2 penalty discard, the Italians with a chance to get some sort of advantage here. Ludwig, I think, benefiting from the day out of the team yesterday, really looking a lot stronger. Again, might get a little bit tight to the time, but I think probably will be okay. The Italians trying to defend the Challenge Cup, of course. They won it 12 months ago. All the last is gone, and under time penalty. What a shame. 5. It was all good to the last. Then it all changes. So they, like Poland now, in fact, on a score of 2 as far as the team score goes. But adds to the pressure of the final. 2 to go. Now we move on to the final rider in the second rotation with Switzerland, who started on a 4 with Lupuc. Now have Celia Mayassi riding Pandy Floss as the next up. These two who jumped a nice clear round on the opening day and then took a day off from the team yesterday. Again, a European ride this year at the Championships. On several teams. Unfortunately, with 4 now scored, 4 now to count for the Swiss. So this will become the discard, and turning left-handed, ignore the clock, the timing is wrong. Well, we'll find out if there's any time penalties to add in due course, but it is a score of 8 in terms of jumping there for Cecilia Viassi and Andy Floss.
For the Swiss team, 8 points in
So
66.
we're halfway through the Challenge Cup final between Great Britain, Norway, Poland, Denmark, Italy and Switzerland, and as it stands, these are the best potential scores. The scores reliant on their final 2 riders going clear. Poland and Italy could yet both finish on 2s, the British team and Switzerland on 4, Norway on 8 and Denmark on 10. But all teams holding some sort of discard score as well, so there's a lot of jumping still to come and a lot of important rounds to be worked out as the next to go, as we return now to the British team, who could yet still finish on a score of 4, with Jessica Ruud next with this wonderfully named H. First time for Jessica riding on the British team, having been brought in today for this Challenge Cup. Small moment as well to give her opportunity. And she'll be learning a huge amount. First time travelling away to an international show, I think, as well. A little bit from the clock as well. So 1 more. That becomes a score of 9. It moves the British team onto a score of 12. With Jessica there making her debut with H, leaving the British team still 1 to go. The best potential score for Britain now is a score of 12. Well, Norway, who could yet finish on a score of 8, but to remind you, the discard they're holding on to at the moment is a score of 14, so could easily go a different way depending on how these next 2 rounds go. First of which will be for Mikkel Frede Nielsen riding on a Van Hekkevilje Hyde. Rode in the Junior Europeans this year, having 3 times competed twice competed at Pony Europeans, including that bronze medal in 2021 as part of the team. Jump clear on day 1. Well, repeats the performance from the opening day with the clear round here in the Challenge Cup. So congratulations, it's actually as well the first official clear without any time concerns as well. So for the moment, Norway can still finish on the 8 penalty score, which is great news for them. But even better news there for Mikael as the clear is delivered. Now soccer next with Digisport Carlo. This is Poland. Poland could yet finish on a score of 2. These two found it difficult yesterday. Didn't have the best day, having been brought into the team for the second qualifying competition. Poland holding a discard of 8. Of course, the team score now moving on to 12. And now on to 6. Sorry, I correct myself. It's now moved on to 10. My apologies. Or 6. Now 10. In fact, 10 will become a discard score for the moment. So it is a 10 penalty score for Poland as a best outcome. Norway, therefore, just now edging ahead. That clear round certainly benefiting the Norwegian team as it stands. Great Britain on a best outcome of 12. 3 more riders to go in the third rotation. And Andre Ribi now with Jaken and Revel, the next up for Denmark. Of course, this team of 3 having to count all the scores have already got a 10 on the board. So what can they do with their second rider? Came into the team yesterday and jumped for a total of 5. Was part of the team at the Baltic Championships earlier this year. Sadly counts 14 now for Denmark. Just dived a little bit coming out as well of the combination. Add 4 more. And the last has gone 16. It is so 16 pushes the team up to a score of 26. So 2 riders to go.
Challenge Cup final youth competition for junior riders.
Italy in a really interesting position here because, of course, they're on a best outcome of 2. If they were to get a clear round now, they're holding a discard of 5. That would, of course, mean the worst potential score they could finish on would be 7 if they get a clear here. If the Swiss rider that followed them then came in and had 2 fences down before we got to the 4th ride, Italy would have won it. But the clear is needed. Here we go with Enrico Sattoni, former team silver medalist in ponies a couple of years ago with, sorry, in the children's, apologies. Yeah, it's the children's with this particular ride, Catherine. That was back in 2022 in Spain. Jumped on the ponies last year. It's jumped for 4 both days. Oh, won't be able to put it to bed quite yet. It's going to go into the final rotation of riders, pretty much whatever happens now. And on 8, they're going to have to count the 5. Certainly going to be quick. If they were looking for a fast counting time, that would help. But it is an 8 penalty score, which they'll discard for the moment. And it moves the Italians onto a best potential score of 7. 7 for the Italians is the best score they can now hope for, but the Swiss could still hope for a score of 4 if they can get a clear from Sasha and Velcadranto as their number 3. They're holding a discard of 8. The next up then. So, has that gone? It has, unfortunately. Actually rode Ulrike de Roy over the last couple of days now on that 8, and that pushes the Swiss team onto a best potential score of 12. It'll be interesting going into the final rotation of riders now, because you're going to have Italy still could finish with 7, holding a discard of 8. You have Norway that could finish on 8, but hold a discard of 14, and then you're going to have Poland. Sorry, then you'll have Poland that could still finish on 10. Trying to get this right as we go through it. Great Britain, that's the Swiss on 12. And then 26 for Denmark. So to confirm those scores, these scores will stay the same if their final riders go clear. Italy 7, Norway 8, Great Britain and Switzerland on 12, Poland on 14 and Denmark on 26. So in terms of a battle for the podium here, the British team will be hoping for a clear from Olivia Sponner to finish things off. And then we'll need the advantage on time over whoever ties level with them on faults. So big chance for the British team, but they are holding a 9 penalty discard, so a fence or 2 going down are both going to count. This is Crazy Girl and Olivia Sponner as the last, talking of fences going down, the first fence goes down for Olivia, which is such a shame after that beautiful clear round we saw yesterday. She picked up 4 on the opening day. But for the moment, the British team move on to a score of 16. Oh, and the last, what a shame, just getting pulled, you can see, into that final fence, and 12 it is as a score. So we have 12 for the last, so the 9 has to count. It means that the team move on to a final total of 21. If my maths is correct for Great Britain, so yeah, 21 is the confirmed score. It means they're only guaranteed to beat the Danish team now, but there could yet still be changes depending on what goes on. Norway, though, very much in play here for a big result in the Challenge Cup. They're certainly in the battle here with Poland and Italy and I guess the Swiss, but If Norway want to put the pressure on the Italians, they need to clear right now. It would lock in a guaranteed second place if they did it, and it would also mean that depending on what the Italians do, this could take them to the win. But they held a big discard of 14. It is Silly Anderson and Haga Tulip Tattoo. Job for 5 on day 1, 8 on day 2. Just going quite steady. And I think time penalty might not affect things too much at the moment. Oh, it's gone. So that's going to count. So suddenly the Norwegian team pushing out to 12. It takes the pressure off the Italians. And now 8. Of course, because of that bigger discard, it doesn't stop yet. It seems to have another one down. It will still count. Fascinating to see, though, all these teams that come into this last round with such a chance of the podium, and the way it finishes, we will still have to wait and see, because that is 9, and that counts towards the final score of 17 in the end for the Norwegian team. 17 it is, so it means that they finish ahead of Great Britain on 17, Great Britain on 21. We know the Danish team can't better 26. But we do know that Poland could finish on a score of 10. Again, they have a sizable discard they're holding. That is a discard of 10. But a clear here from Poland would mean they were within a fence of Italy. So a fence then falling for the Italians would give the win to Poland. So in desperate need of a clear here from Patrick Starinitsky and Jericho to perhaps help them over the line. We will see. The combination, of course, that started on day 1, these two, with a clear. Sadly, yesterday they retired, but we'll be hoping to bring back day 1's form. Because, like I say, a clear round guarantees them second, and certainly will put all the pressure on the Italians, because it'll force them into a position that they have to go clear to win it. Of course, the fence falling as well would perhaps open the door to the Swiss team being able to beat them. It is that close, although with such a sort of, because of the time penalties, I'd be really surprised with the way the time penalties have come into the scores if we end up with a tie for the first position. I would be I'm not sure that'll happen, but the 4 is there now, and that moves the team from Poland onto a score of 14. It just opens the door slightly for the Italians. It gives them a little bit of breathing room, perhaps. We will see. So that
5 points, including
one for time as well, becomes a score of 15 in the end for Poland. Next up is the team from Denmark, sadly out of play because of that score of 26. So let's just also look at how the score for Switzerland could come into this as well. Because if the Italians were to have a fence down, of course, on their score of 7, it'll push them on to 11. So that's fine. They can't be beaten by the Swiss. They can't be beaten by the Poland, who are locked in. If the Italians would have 2 fences down, it would of course be a score of 8, which would overall give them a score of 15. That could tie us up with Poland and potentially send us into a jump off, but it would then give the Swiss the chance to come in and jump clear to win it. So all those permutations are sort of there on the table. But sadly, from the Danish team's point of view, Sille Frederik Kristoffersen here and Kasper Ask is going to wrap things up with the team unable to better 6th place. That score of 15, by the way, as well, for Poland has been adjusted. It has now become a score of 19 because what we have just seen adjusted in the final scores. So it is now. It seems there was another fence down that wasn't originally showing for Julia a little earlier on. So my apologies, but just wanted to make sure we're correct with where we go as I look and see things coming through. 19 for Poland, so it actually pushes them behind Norway and of course opens the door considerably more to the Italians, who will be under pressure from the Swiss if they haven't had a fence down. Well, sorry, if they do have a fence down, but this still for Denmark. Well, the final score of 36. As I said, the Danish team finishing in 6th place today. So Denmark locked in to 6th on a score of 62.
And that was the Danish team.
So Denmark on 62, Great Britain finishing on 21, Poland on 19, so Norway on 17. So currently the Italians are on a score of 7 with an 8 penalty discard, so the worst potential outcome for them would be 2 fences down. That would land them on to a score of 15, so they're guaranteed 2nd place at this point. But what they need to do now, if they want to win it without worrying about what the Swiss are going to do, the Swiss team can still finish on a score of 12. So Lavinia Lebosco, Oberon Vandenberg can afford 1 fence down. That would put them on 11. They can afford 1 fence down or a clear, obviously, and they win with this round without having to wait for the Swiss to jump theirs. If they have 2 fences down, then it is that score of 15, and then the Swiss will have the opportunity to jump to win it in this round. So far, so good for this combination that did jump clear on day 1. It's very close to that, and it's gone. They can afford 1 fence. That's okay. They can't afford another, and they've rubbed that coming out of the combination. They can't even afford a time fault at the moment if they want to win it with this round. Otherwise, they're going to have to wait and see what the Swiss do. It'll put it into the hands of the Swiss number 4. Oh, the last has gone. So the Italians, right at the end, having the final fence down, move on to that score of 15. It guarantees them 2nd place. The team that won the Challenge Cup here 12 months ago, they could still win it, but it's now not in their hands. It's now in the hands of Switzerland, who have the opportunity to jump to win. Certainly not going to a jump off, I can promise you that. So it's down to Margot Blanchard, a touch of Royal Serrano, who will be the anchor rider out for Team Switzerland. Jumped a clear round yesterday, and on the opening day for the Swiss, they also jumped as well. So they need to do it again. Never has a clear been more important for the Swiss team, because a Swiss clear here wins it. They will then finish on that score of 12. They can even afford a couple of time penalties. They can afford 2 time penalties, 3 time penalties, and we're going into a jump off. That's the only way we go into a jump off. If they have 1 fence down, Italy win. This will be tense all the way. Every fence. It's got to be perfect. There have not been many clears around this course. In fact, let me double check. I think there's only been 1 inside the time. We've seen even this final line, catch riders out. That final fence, catch riders out. Margaret Blanchard, getting ever closer to back rails here. That final fence is going to be the final test. She's just 1 fence away from victory for Team Switzerland, delivering a sensational clear to win the Challenge Cup here for Switzerland. Very, very well done indeed. It is a brilliant result for the Swiss to round things off here and take the Challenge Cup title. So, yeah, superb finish. A touch of Royal Serrano jumps the clear to take the trophy for Switzerland. Italy will join them on the podium in the Challenge Cup, finishing in 2nd place after their win in the Challenge Cup last year, back on the podium this year. And Norway up there on the podium, joining those teams as well. Poland 4th, Great Britain 5th, and Denmark in 6th. Of course, there will be more to come from the juniors tomorrow with the finals. But we will also be bringing you more in the Challenge Cup here this afternoon, because the next Challenge Cup is for our young riders, and it's going to get underway at 3:15 here this afternoon. So in just under an hour's time, we're going to kick that off, and looking forward to that one when we start. Yeah, so just shy of the hour, we will start that Challenge Cup. Final for the young riders. 3:15 Central European time. Well done again, though. Brilliant end. Love that. Right the way down to the last. And it all twisted and turned. And then suddenly Margaret Blanchard wins it for Switzerland. Well done to her, to Sasha Beck, to Celia Miesi and Lupic. Cornelia Knott, the chef to keep Switzerland win the Challenge Cup. Who's going to win in the young riders? We will wait and see.
Top 3 is requested for prize giving ceremony. So the winners are the Swiss team. The Swiss team, Lupic, Celia Biasi, Sasha Beck and Margot Blanchard. 2nd place for the Italian team, Eleonora Sanna, Ferrante Ancisi, Enrico Santoni and Lavinello Bosco. The 3rd place for the Norwegian team, Ingrid Sunday Björklund, Rasmus Osland, Mikkel Freddy Nielsen and Siri Andressen. Very exciting competition is a Challenge Cup for junior riders. Switzerland, Italy, and Norway. FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final, the Challenge Cup for junior riders on Saturday here at the FEI Arena. Time for prize giving ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, in this Junior Nations Cup, the Challenge Cup. The winners from Switzerland with 12 points by team captain Cornelia Notz, Lupuch, Celia Biassi, Sasha Beck, and Margot Blanchard. The 50 member is Thibaut Christen. Second place for the team from Italy, team captain Marco Bergomi, Eleonora Sanna, Ferrante Anciasi, Enrico Santoni, Lavinia Lobosco, and the 15 member Guiglia Gatti Bardelli. And the third place for the Norwegian team with 17 points with team captain Tom Vidar Irrenjelnes, Ingrid Sandney Björklund, Rasmus Osland, Mikkel Freddy Nielsen, Siri Andressen, and the 15 member Madeleine Osletten Frugstad. Are the grooms ready for the three teams? Switzerland, Italy, and Norway. And the riders then can dismount, please. En de maak was op voor de huldiging, dames en heren. The prize giving ceremony of this Challenge Cup on Saturday here at the Ekiom Arena, here at Hazelhof. Ladies and gentlemen, a third place for the Norwegian team with 17 points. Team captain Tom Vidar Irrenjelnes, Ingrid Sande Björklund, Rasmus Osland, Mikael Freddy Nielsen, Siri Andressen, and Madeleine Osletten Frugstad. Second place with 15 points for the Italian team. Team captain Marco Bergomi, Eleonora Sanna, Ferrante Ancisi, Enrico Santoni, Lavinia Lobosco, and 15 member Guiglia Gatti Bardelli. And the winners of this Nations Youth Cup for junior riders, the Challenge Cup. The Swiss team, team captain Cornelia Notz, Lupuch, Celia Biassi, Sasha Beck, Margot Blanchard, and Thibaut Christen. Congratulations, Norway. Congratulations, Italy. And of course, congratulations with your victory, Switzerland. Time for the Swiss anthem. Will you please all be upstanding? Laten we even recht staan, dames en heren. Ere wie ere toekomt. De Zwitserse hymne, the national anthem for Switzerland. Switzerland, the Swiss team. En dan gaan we de prijzen uitdelen, dames en heren. Foreign judge René Biardon. FEI representative René Biardon de la France, notre juge d'étranger. En feliciteer natuurlijk het winnende team, het Zwitserse team. Bestaande uit Lou, Celia, Sacha, Thibaut en Margot. Second place for the Italian team, Eleonora Ferrante, Enrico, Lavinia and Giulia. The Norwegian team is third, Ingrid, Rasmus, Mika, Siri and Madeleine. Matthias, Mike. En Maxime, de familie Haasbroek, dames en heren, bij de prijsuitreiking. Feliciteert natuurlijk het podium. Noorwegen derde plaats, op 2 Italië en 1 Zwitserland. En ook aanwezig natuurlijk Lotte. Juffrouw Lotte Schaarlaken of mevrouw Lotte Hazenbroek Schaarlaken natuurlijk. The organizing committee. Maxime, Matthias, Lotte, Mike. For the moment, Pegasus, we capture the moment. De teams zijn gefeliciteerd. Alle prijzen zijn uitgereikt, denk ik dan. En als we klaar zijn met het ceremonie protocolaire, dan mogen ze terug natuurlijk op hun trouwe viervoeters. Hun trouwe viervoeters gaan, die ermee voor gezorgd hebben dat ze dit schitterende resultaat hebben neergezet. Don't forget the horses also. For the Swiss team, it was Hendricks, Pandy Floss, Valkera Danto, and a touch of Royal Cyrano. For the Italian team, Incanto VDL, Ludwig, Katrin, Oberon van den Berg. En voor de Norwegian team, Arizet, Cardigan, One van de Heerlijkheid en Stenhaga, Tulip, Tattoo. Because the horses are also as important as the riders in this Challenge Cup competition. And a big congratulations to the team captains. Team captain for Norway, Tom Vidar, Iren Jennes. The Italian team captain, Marco Bergomi. And the Swiss team captain, Cornelia Notz. So everybody back on the horses. And then it's time for the lap of honor. Geef ze een meer dan geweldig applaus, dames en heren. Winners of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final, the Challenge Cup for junior riders. The Swiss team, Lupug, Celia Biassi, Sasha Beck, Margot Blanchard, Thibaut Christen. Second place for the Italian team, team captain Margot Bergomi, Eleonora Sanna, Ferrante Ancisi, Enrico Santoni, Lavinia Lobosco, Giulia Gatti Bardelli. The third place for the Norwegian team, team captain Tom Vidar Iren Jennes, Ingrid Sanne Björklund, Rasmus Osland, Mikael Freddy Nielsen, Siri Andressen, Madeleine Osletten Flipsat. Switzerland wins this Nations Cup Youth Competition Challenge Cup. Switzerland, Lou, Celia, Sasha, Margot, Thibaut. Second place for Italy, Eleonora, Ferrante, Enrico, Lavinia, Giulia. Norway third, Ingrid, Rasmus, Mikael, Siri and Madeleine. FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final, the Challenge Cup. And one more time, the Swiss team, Lupuk, Celia Biassi, Sascha Beck, Margot Blanchard, Thibaut Christen, team captain Cornelia Notz. Super competition, the 1m40 class, FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final Challenge Cup for junior riders on Saturday. Preparing the arena here at the Decisive Arena, preparing everything for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final Challenge Cup for young riders.